Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be shedding light on how to become extremely persuasive in order to reap the most of life. So why would it behoove you to optimize your persuasion skills? Why should you become highly persuasive? Well, in life you could either be the persuaded or the persuader, and preferably you'd prefer to be the persuader, undoubtedly. By being highly persuasive, you'll be all the more apt, all the more poised to not only reach your overarching goals, but to also achieve your higher aspirations. It's all the more easier to curry favor with others, be inducted into social circles, and of course make inroads, headway, and progress towards moving up in your life if you're deemed persuasive. So what tactics should you repeat? What tactics should you practice incessantly in order to hone your persuasion skills and master the art of persuasion? Well, here are some that you should take heed in practicing. First and foremost, you should repeatedly and clearly convey your overarching message, especially since most people today have developed filters to ignore unsolicited inputs until they have heard it several times in both written and verbal form. Repeating a message can render it indelible and shift the attention towards your overarching message. People have short attention spans. You should demonstrate tenacity and have the audacity to unremittingly repeat your message until it resonates with your target market. Will your message be assimilated into the chasms of their mind? Will it be relegated to the bowels of their mind? Only time will tell. But your message should not only be succinct, but it needs to be repeated, and you may have to do it in a vast variety of disparate ways. If it's not processing, then you may need to modify it, you may need to refine it, you may need to revamp it so that it can resonate with your target market. And you have to be willing to repeat it over and over and over again until it clicks in. So if you want to be an effective persuader, then you have to have the dauntlessness, audacity, and drive to be willing to repeat your message over and over and over again until your audience finally understands it and is willing to listen to it. Keep your message succinct, compendious, and characterized by brevity. It shouldn't be too long-winded nor complex. Second, persuaders should postulate their message in a context important to the receiver. Persuaders need to understand how to leverage value propositions and simple imagery in order to render their overarching messages easy to instantly understand. They should abstain from utilizing abstract declarations or technical declarations which may fluster their audience and lose the audience's attention. A message is pointless if the audience cannot decode it nor easily understand the message. And this harkens back to what I was saying earlier. It's incumbent, it's salient, it's pivotal, it's paramount, it's of eminent importance that your message is not too wordy. It shouldn't be overly complex. It shouldn't utilize too much verbiage. Verbosity can adversely impact you if you're trying to deliver a simple, understandable, digestible message. The slogan, "Just do it," is so potent, it's so efficacious, it's so meaningful because it's easy to understand. It's not overly wordy, it's not complex, it's not convoluted, it's not intricate, it's simplified. So your messages should be truncated, they should be concise, they should be to the point. So if you need to continuously modify your message until it's digestible, understandable, and more succinct, then by all means do so. Take heed in refining your message over time, and also be redundant. You can repeat your message in a multitude of disparate ways so that it's more understandable. If someone is not understanding it when applied to a specific context, then apply it to another context and see if that works. Your message should be decodable, understandable, digestible, and should easily resonate with your target market. Third, persuaders know to leverage contrasting story scenarios in order to illustrate the impact of two disparate outcomes. Stories can better resonate with an audience than simple factual statements. If you can integrate the receiver directly into the story, the potential impact is even greater. The power of contrast or side-by-side comparison of outcomes is an effective mover of people from old beliefs to new ones. If people understand the alternative of not taking action through a contrasting story scenario, they will be all the more enticed to take action. The persuader can have a lasting impact when they can get their audience to envision themselves in two contrasting story scenarios in which one has a significantly more fruitful outcome than the other. This tactic can also be utilized to entice sales by creating a story-driven narrative to elicit a desire for a product. A life-changing story about a product's merits can render the product all the more enticing to procure. So in other words, succinctly stated, stories can be a powerful driver for rendering your speeches, your monologues, all the more persuasive. If you want someone to take action and procure a product, for instance, you can let them know the alternative of not buying the product, and that may persuade them to buy the product. They may buy it out of fear. For instance, if someone is reticent about buying supplements, you can let them know the ramifications and the repercussions of not doing so, and then they may subsequently procure supplements for the prospect of optimizing their health. Persuaders know to create a sense of urgency. They know how to create a sense of scarcity. They know how to utilize contrasting stories to their advantage. When you can leverage visual imagery and bring stories to fruition, it will likely resonate better with your target market than just utilizing technical declarations. When marketing a product, don't think like a traditional marketer. Think about the customer's perspective. Think about how they perceive the product. If your product can be metaphorically infused into a story, people will be all the more inclined to buy it. Such as the fact that a product has helped save people's lives or enrich people's lives. And if you could illustrate how that has been achieved, then people will be all the more driven to buy the product. So, if you want to become an effective persuader, it goes beyond the ambit of having a clear, concise message and repeating your message over and over and over again. It's also about utilizing contrasting stories to illustrate a point and creating visual imagery in the minds of your target market. Fourth, persuaders should know how to utilize friends and advisors as sources of warm introductions. The audience is more inclined to listen to you if you will refer to them by someone they know in common, especially if that connection has strong, relevant experience or expertise. In other words, not only will your credibility be instantaneously boosted. They'll be instantaneously boosted by having referrals from influential individuals that the audience has established a strong connection with, but your message will be all the more impactful since people are less inclined to tune you out. If someone trustworthy, highly influential, and profoundly successful can attest to your merits, and the chances of you successfully persuading your audience are substantially amplified, since you may even have already won over their trust before your presentation commences just from the power of the renowned influencer's referral. Persuaders know to utilize referral marketing to their advantage. They take advantage of their referrals in order to render themselves all the more reputable, credible, and trustworthy. If someone can attest to your merits, if someone can vouch for you, your audience will be all the more inclined to listen to you, especially if you have the referral from renowned influencers. Or industry experts who are world renowned or at the top of their field. So take advantage of referral marketing if you want to be successful as a persuader. If you can gain the trust of some people and the referrals of some people, you can gain the referrals of many people. People have a herd mentality. So if influencers they follow you, they'll be all the more inclined to follow you just based on your referrals. Fifth, persuaders should know to generate interest and excitement from others and parlay that into their advantage. For instance, persuaders with positive testimonials and positive client reviews are all the more poised to win over future clients. Social media can be a powerful tool for testing your ideas with minimal cost and risk, with a huge potential for spreading and amplifying your message to the right people. The evidence of 1,000 people, for instance, responding positively to your message is a much more effective outcome than you pitching your message alone. In other words, you should utilize collective persuasion for the recommendations of others to win over more clients, more investors, and more partners. High client satisfaction ratings, positive client testimonials, and past entrepreneurial success stories help you win over more people's trust and confidence in your ability to usher in profitable new ideas into the global marketplace. Being extremely persuasive in order to reap the most of life entails mastering the art of persuasion. It is incumbent to take heed in mastering the art of persuasion if you are keen on reaping the most of life. So, persuaders utilize social media to their advantage, and they know to utilize referrals from a multitude of highly satisfied clients in order to be all the more persuasive. I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.